Wait a minute. It's saying something right now about Facebook. Failed to post to Facebook. Oh, son of a gun. Okay, I'm going to remove it.
Are we live? We're live already?
Well, we're recording, yeah.
Oh. Well, you
So
got it. It
I'll
says
just.
live. It says live. You got
Well,
us
my
live.
apologies. I forgot. I did go live. I completely forgot that anybody watching right now. Psst, there you go. This is what I'm like before I try and do a show. All disheveled and disoriented and ridiculous. Would you expect anything less?
Oh,
All
you
right,
know.
here we go. This is with Mike Cook. We are going to be broadcasting live, but I'm going to be referencing the radio station that I'm going to be on tomorrow in the Sacramento area. KMYC, it's 1410 AM. I'll be on from 10 AM to 1 PM. I'm going to air this show, I believe, in my first hour. That's my plan so far. It might be second hour, but this is with Mike Cook talking about what happened with the Supreme Court today, or at least the announcement of what the Supreme Court did. I doubt if they did it today. But so I'm going to be referencing the radio station and do it like I'm actually on the air because I'm going to play this back. And it's called live to tape. You do a show as if it's live, but you're taping it for broadcast at a different time on a different entity. All right. So here we go. Mike Cook talking about Supreme Court for KMYC Radio, The Patriot, 1410 AM. 5, 4, 3. Welcome to big old bad old broadcast here on KMYC AM 1410 The Patriot. I am Charlie Simons filling in for the great Lou Benninger, who's on assignment, as they say in the network news business, which is a lie. That's always a lie. Could be a vacation. I happen to know he's off on a missions trip, Christian missions trip right now. But they always say that on location or, not able to do the show today on location. So I'm on location filling in for Lou, and he's one of my favorite broadcasters, period. He truly is. It's an honor and a privilege just to be asked to fill in for him. I really think he is an absolute gem in Northern California. I hope you appreciate who you have here with Lou Benninger, and I hope you appreciate this radio station too. What's great about it is it's a standalone AM, which is almost unheard of anymore. And it's locally owned and operated, which is also extremely rare now. In the world of corporate radio, thanks to Bill Clinton deregulating all the FCC ownership rules like the idiot that he is back in the 90s, it has done everything to dismantle and destroy the business that I've loved all my life. So I just feel privileged that there are still some radio stations like this, and I hope you appreciate how special this station is and support it. Go to the advertisers that you hear on the air. Let them know if you go and give them your business. Let them know you heard about it on KMYC. That will really have a powerful impact. And they'll go, oh, really? Well, shoot, advertising works. I want to do more of it. And the radio station being Federal Communications Commission licensed has to sell advertising. So I know you might hate commercials, but if you sit through them, you're supporting the radio station. And please give your business to those businesses and tell them you heard it here. You just don't understand how powerful that is and how much that will help. So here I am sitting with a great friend of mine, a fellow podcaster. He calls himself Patriot Mike. He's Mike Cook from the Patriot Mike Show on Rumble and a whole bunch of other platforms until just yesterday when he lost his Facebook, like I did last summer. Hello, Mike.
Well, I didn't lose it permanently. I'm just on 14 days restriction and 14 days extra duty.
Yeah, well, you're a slacker then. They deleted me from the platform. Meta sent me a thing saying, you're not welcome here. You and your kind are not welcome here.
Well, I'm sure they'll get me eventually, but that's why I'm on X and Rumble and everywhere else because YouTube sucks.
Everyone
and
keeps
Facebook
saying
sucks.
that X is safe now, but I got a little strike. I got a little warning for something I did just recently, and it was about alternative cures for cancer. How dare you talk about that? How dare you talk about possible ways to bypass big pharma?
Well, the problem is when you get into that stuff, there's so many regulations and rules about what you can say and can't say, federal at the federal level, the state level, that sometimes they kind of overreact on these platforms to tell you don't talk about it at all because we don't want to get in trouble either.
Because they don't want to get sued by Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Here's something
Or they're
else.
already getting paid by Big Pharma, whatever the case is.
Talk about them freaking out. The media yesterday freaked out about the Supreme Court decision. And I see all these headlines about Supreme Court shoots down Trump. Supreme Court dismantles and destroys tariff economic plan. I mean, they just went all out saying the Supreme Court is turned on Trump. And President Trump's reaction in a presser was surprising to many of us because he was angry. Really angry.
I think he was angry, but I don't think he was angry. I think he was angry at the Republicans, on the so-called Republicans on the Supreme Court. He was talking about that. As you were saying that, I just flipped over to the Drudge Report. Drudge Report used to go where you get all things conservative news. Now it's been bought and paid for. Anybody ever seen Matt Drudge? I think they put him in an insane asylum or something. He's never been around.
Right.
But it's basically now MSNBC or MS Now, whatever it is. Here's the headlines, all red letters, top of the fold. Here it is, right? Robes rebuke the Don. His tariffs are illegal. President rages. These effing courts. Promises to keep trying. I can destroy the country. Live updates. 175 billion refunds to nations. Dum, dum, dum. News at 11.
Film at 11. It's a tremendous overreaction. All the Supreme Court did. Here's the thing you can count on with media people. For the most part, 99.9% of them are really stupid, especially when it comes to economics and legal matters. They just don't frickin' know. And they'll repeat some headline and reword it a little bit that they read at the New York Times. They're all stealing each other's stuff. And they'll change it up a little bit or throw it through AI and call it their own story. They're pathetic. I'm talking about print, television, and radio, and now social media too.
Yeah, print.
But
let me tell you,
it's my understanding that the Supreme Court, all they did was say, well, President Trump, according to the 16th Amendment and according to in our U.S. Constitution, only the legislature can control taxation. And you've got to go through the right channels to be able to do these tariffs the way you did. You can't just executive order them. That's my understanding.
Well, okay, they ruled specifically on the, it's got an acronym, but one specific law. Now, let me just knowing Donald Trump the way that he does things, okay? Donald Trump doesn't do things on accident. I know many people listening to us right now are going, oh yeah, he does. He says all kinds of stupid stuff. No, he doesn't. He says things to get a reaction. When they came out, do you know that there's like 25 or 30 pieces of legislation that have passed Congress, been signed by presidents for years and years and years, that give the president the authority to do tariffs? Now, according to the Constitution, the only governmental body that has the authority to do tariffs is Congress, okay, by legislation. However, Congress has ceded that authority to the president multiple times. So when Donald Trump came out and started doing these tariffs under one specific regulation passed by Congress, they sued him saying you can't do that. You don't have the authority to do this broad tariff, instant tariff, retaliation tariff thing that you're doing under that piece of legislation. So that went all the way to Supreme Court. Supreme Court ruled, nope, that's the wording of the law says you don't have that. 6-3 ruling. Some of the other justices said this is ridiculous. Of course he has that authority under this statute, this statute, this statute, this statute. He has that authority. So what did Donald Trump do today? Well, first thing he did is sign a worldwide 10% tariff under another tariffing authority.
Right. I was yesterday, actually. Yesterday he did that.
Yeah, yesterday. I'm sorry.
Yes. No. That's thank you for bringing that up. I was just about to. So
And,
he said, here's what I can do. I can make everybody pay a tax right across the top if you're importing any kind of products or goods or services from outside of the United States of America. Done.
and then right after that, his Commerce Secretary and his Treasury Secretary came out and said, we're going to keep all the tariffs. He's going to keep them all in place under these other authorities. I think they knew exactly what was going to happen. I think they knew this was going to go to the Supreme Court. They were probably going to lose. And when they first started doing tariffs, they had all this other stuff. Switched to just boom, just like that. So they got the headlines on the Drudge. You got them over at MSNBC on Monday. The View would go crazy because the geniuses over the View, they know economic policy.
Good
And
Lord, they're so stupid. Oh, they're so stupid.
I think what's going to happen here in a week or two, everybody's going to realize, well, that didn't really work. That's what I think is going to happen.
It sounds to me like you think the same thing I do, and that is President Trump did an overblown reaction to this on purpose. We're going to need the people trusting the Supreme Court with things that are going to happen this year, like we've never seen before, things that are coming down. And we can't be having everybody going, well, the Supreme Court is Trump's anyway, and they're going to just do whatever he says. Well, this is a golden opportunity. And you're right. They probably knew that it was going to lose. And this is a way for him to just get all outraged. We saw the same thing with Elon Musk when Elon's cars started getting destroyed and his dealership started getting vandalized. What happened? There was a separation between the Trump and the Musk. And it was vocal and it was visual. And I said at the time, this is contrived. This is not real. This is all just to separate Elon from Trump so that they'll stop picking on him and ruining his business, because he was really getting financially hurt, all while doing probably one of the greatest things that has ever happened to this nation since the decades of corruption. And that was Doge. Elon Musk.
Yeah. And all the Doge stuff basically is going to go away.
It all got reversed, didn't it? A lot of it, didn't it?
Well, because the Republicans. So now I know you guys are out there in California.
Mike, by the way, is in Missouri. Mike is in Missouri, by the way. I forgot to tell you that.
The Republicans failed to codify it in law, so they could do all the cutting. And then if the Republicans don't pass the bills to make it permanent, just goes away. We'll just keep spending the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars into oblivion.
It's sick.
And there are, I mean, every one of the Democrats, except for maybe Fetterman, I don't know what's going on there, and about 90% of the Republicans want our government, want the president, want our economy, and want you to fail so they can maintain power. They want the Democrats to take over the House and the Senate.
I agree.
Susan Rice just came out and said that to all the mega people, all the mega business owners, all the mega podcasters, all the mega people out there, all the voters, she said, when we get the government back, we're coming for you. What gives a bureaucrat, ex-bureaucrat, in government the right to tell a businessman who you can support politically? She said to all of the businesses who bowed to Trump, we're coming for you. Think about that. Think about these people are saying Donald Trump's a dictator. Then how are you saying stuff like that?
It is sick. It is so sick and wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Governor Hairdo out here in California. This KMYC radio, by the way, you're listening to. I'm Charlie Simons, filling in for the great Lou Benninger on AM 1410, The Patriot. You are listening to Mike Cook. He's a friend of mine, podcaster, broadcaster, and pontificator. He's out of Missouri. And I'm out here, of course. I'm a Californian all the way around. So I'm no quitter, no matter how stupid that might be. But Governor Hairdo, as I affectionately call Gavin Newsom, also said yesterday that Donald Trump needs to write a check to every single citizen because of the tariffs. We need restitution. We need to be paid back that money. And nobody asked what money, paid back what money, and he goes, "Oh, with interest." And we're going to make sure he does it. And we're going after him, and we're suing. That's what he said yesterday.
Well, before I answer, I want to point out one thing. Donald Trump, a couple days ago, was in Georgia at a steel plant that's now expanded and going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, producing steel when a few years ago they were about to close. Why?
Yep.
Because the tariffs made it competitive, competing with these countries, these communist countries who subsidize their tariff or use slave labor to subsidize their steel or use slave labor. The other one is there's a Michigan company. I saw a video on this. There's a Michigan toy company. It's somewhere around Detroit. And they were going to close in the next 30 days, cease to exist. But there's another company that makes a widget in Canada that sells their widget in the United States, but with all the tariffs, it was not profitable. They bought that company, and they said to all the employees that were about to get laid off, stay, we need you. We got to produce our widget that gets them around that tariff. That's what tariffs do. Okay. But here's the thing. We got to pay them back. This is a problem in what the Supreme Court just ruled, because now what do? They ruled they were illegal. All this money was collected. What do? Well, you got to pay it back. The organization that sued and got it to the Supreme Court and won their case, bunch of attorneys who are going to get stinking filthy rich off this, are now going to turn around and sue company by company by company to get a check for the tariffs that the company supposedly paid on their products. Here's the problem. And that's, we got this little, we're a nation of laws, not men, right? That's what we're supposed to be. We got this little thing called the Constitution, although everybody wipes their hindquarters with it instead of using it.
Boy, that's the
and they have this thing in there called Article 1, Section 9, powers denied Congress. Clause 7, appropriations. No money shall be drawn from the Treasury, but in consequence of appropriations made by law. It goes on to say, and a regular statement and account of receipts of expenditures shall all public money shall be published from time to time, but that no money shall be drawn from the Treasury without the consequences of appropriation. What that means is you sue because of the tariffs and you get your 25 million you paid back in tariffs, right? There's no law to appropriate that money. The court can't tell the Congress, create a law. What is it we learned? Well, some of us did. You Gen Zers may not know this, but as Gen Xers, and we learned that there are separations of powers, co-equal branches of government. The Supreme Court can't tell the Congress what to do. The Congress can't tell the Supreme Court what to do. The president can't tell the Supreme Court what to do, and the Supreme Court can't tell the president what to do, and the president can't tell what Congress do, and Congress can't tell what the president do, right? But the Constitution says in order for a check to be written, there must be an appropriation. So if the Congress hasn't appropriated $25 million to pay back XYZ company for the tariffs, who's going to write the check? The treasurer can't write checks unless it's been appropriated. The president can't write checks unless it's been appropriated. Nobody can write a check unless it's been appropriated by law through the Congress. So the Supreme Court now has created a constitutional crisis because what do? Supreme Court can't tell Congress, well, you got to. No, you can't. Congress, by the way, can turn around and tell the Supreme Court, we only want 3 of you, or we want 62 of you. See, co-equal powers, checks and balances of our system. That's the way that it works. So this is a problem. It's going to be years and years and years and years that they're arguing this stuff while Donald Trump just uses another regulation to put tariffs on, and down the road we go.
Or we do our duty, we show up at the midterm elections this year, and we give them a super majority in the House and the Senate. We get rid of these dirty judges, and we start passing these laws. We get rid of the stupid filibuster, which, by the way, that's not constitutional. So stop squealing about that.
Well, it's not unconstitutional either. The Constitution specifically
Yeah, but
says
people are saying it's in the Constitution.
it's not. It's not. They
No.
the Constitution gives the powers of the bodies, the Senate and the Congress, to the Senate and the House, to create their own rules. So they have the power to create their own rules. It's just a rule created for themselves to slow the process down and put a monkey in the works. You want to know what will fix the Senate more than anything else? Repeal the 17th Amendment. If we had chat room going right now, I'd say, what did the 17th Amendment do? Does anybody in the audience know? I guess on the radio you call in, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let me tell you. 17th Amendment, prior to the 17th Amendment, the legislator or the governor of each state, according to the Constitution, now the Constitution was changed by the 17th Amendment, but prior to that, appointed their senators. There was no, I think there was a 6-year term, but there really wasn't a term because you could just reappoint them. There was no election. The senators weren't elected. They were appointed. And it depended on the state. The governor could do it. The legislator could do it. The state decided how they chose those. Maybe the state could say, okay, here's a hat, put a bunch of names in there, draw 2 names. If that's what they wanted to do under the Constitution before the 17th Amendment. So you got to think about this for a second. The Congress represents the people, right?
Yeah. Well,
the House represents the House represents the people. So they're the closest ones to us. I mean, you probably know about where your congressman lives. Where's your senator? Your senator represents the whole state. So kind of.
Right.
The president represents the federal government. Right? He's the only one elected by everybody. Or chosen, stolen. But that's a whole nother issue. Ain't that right, California?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Californians, for Adam Schiff and Scott Wiener.
Oh,
good job.
Let me just say that Adam Shifty Shift is illegally serving in the Senate.
I believe that's true, yeah.
And the reason is because where does he live?
Not where he says he is. Not in his district, not even in California.
No, he lives in Baltimore. His wife lives in Baltimore. His kids go to school in Baltimore. He lives in a really, really nice house in a really, really nice part. Probably not anywhere near the Potomac where all the poop's flowing right now. He's living in Baltimore. He got a mortgage on his house, claiming it was his first mortgage in his permanent residence. So either he committed mortgage fraud or he's ineligible to run, because the Constitution clearly says that you have to live in the state in which you run as a senator. Right. Same thing with, by the way, Eric Swalwell, who dated Fang Fang, a Chinese spy, while he was married. So he's got really good character. He's really good character reference. He wants to be governor of California. It'll be great.
He does. Yes.
He lives in a $2.5 million mansion in Washington, D.C. Same thing. He claimed it as his first mortgage and his permanent residence. His wife lives there. His mail comes there. His kids go to school there.
But he wants to be California governor.
But he represents California, doesn't he?
Yes.
There's one of his, I think it's another Democrat running for governor, has filed a petition with however it works in California to get him off the ballot because he's not a resident of California. He's a resident of D.C. So he's illegally serving in Congress. And you're just picking on them. Marjorie Taylor Greene lived in a condo in Washington, D.C., illegally serving in Congress. It's about 80 to 90% of our representatives illegally are serving in Congress. One of the ones I know for sure that isn't is Tim Burchett. Did you know Tim Burchett? He always wears the Carhartt jacket and stuff, talks real homely, lives in Kentucky. He flies home every weekend. His wife lives in Kentucky. He has an apartment in D.C., but he has a home in Kentucky.
Yeah.
He doesn't have, his kids are all grown, but he lives in Kentucky. He flies home every weekend. Now I got a friend named Mike. He lives in Cowpens, North Carolina, but he drives into Virginia to the military base there as a contractor, construction guy. He's a construction guy.
Civilian.
And he lives outside the base at a campground in a big RV during the week, but goes home to his wife and his house on the weekends. But that's not what they do in Congress. So that I kind of went down a trail there. What were we talking about before I went down that trail?
We're talking about Governor Hairdo. Is how we started. And,
Yes,
and,
yes.
Senator Shifty.
Yeah. What about Governor Hairdo? What was it? Oh, he was wanting reparations. Reparations for the
get paid back with interest. Paid back what from the tariffs?
Well, to whom? He wants
somehow he stole money from us. President Trump, he's alleging stole money from us. I don't get that at all. What's he talking about?
Oh, he's talking about the tariffs, right? Is that in regards to the tariffs?
Yes.
Yeah. But he didn't pay any tariffs. Who's going to get that money? He doesn't want small business in California to get that money. And if small business in California get that money, your legislator would immediately pass a law that you have to pay a 220% tax on that money or something. So you guys broke. Did you know that? You're broke.
Exactly
I pray
right.
every day for California.
That high-speed rail isn't going to pay for itself.
I pray every day. I grew up in Lancaster, California, graduated from Antelope Valley High. My dad drove school bus there for 40 years.
Wow.
I pray every day for California that Pier's retirement system lasts long enough my mom doesn't need it anymore, because that's how she survives. And I told this to my sister, who's in law enforcement out in California, and she goes, no, you need to pray for me too. Her retirement is Pierre.
You're on your own, sister. And that's how Governor Hairdo is going to be taxing. He's going to be reclaiming the taxes, as he says, of anybody who moves out of state. That's how he's going to do it. That's how he's going to do it, is through their retirement.
I got a video reclaiming my time. I got a video that this old boy, he's a
time.
Yeah, you got that. Took you a second.
That's hilarious. Okay, Nadler.
I gotta it's the biggest one on reclaiming my time is what's her name from California? Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters, yes.
Reclaiming my time. Yeah, anyways.
Witchy voice.
What was I talking about? So I rudely interrupted myself. I don't know.
Your sister and him stealing your retirement away from you if you move out of California.
Oh yeah. So there's this social media guy, this TikToker, right, who left California 7 years ago. 7 years ago, he got a letter from the state of California wanting to know what assets he took with him when he left, how much furniture he took with him, what kind of retirement accounts he had, how much money he had in the bank, all this stuff. I don't know where he's living now. Probably somewhere.
I took Nunya business.
He went threw it away. What are you going to do about it? They're going 7 years ago he left the state. I'm waiting for mine. I left in 1989 when I raised my right hand and swore. I'm waiting for mine. What assets did you have? I don't know. I was 18 years old. I had a comb.
The Army told me everything else I could have from that point.
That's right.
Yeah, I got you. I can only blame Governor Hairdo and people like Senator Scott Wiener and Adam Schiff. I can only blame these clowns, these pigs, these swine so much before I have to start focusing on my own fellow Californians. It's a given that the Democrats have earned the name, that I always call them as Democrats, because they keep doing the same dumb things over and over again, putting the same kind of dumb people back into tremendous positions of power. But what about my own party? What about the Republican Party that seems to enjoy in California being in second place because it's easier to fundraise? They have all but given up. We have not had a Republican governor in almost 2 decades now, if you consider Arnold Schwarzenegger to be an actual Republican. This is a catastrophic situation in the state of California. And I blame Mike and you, beautiful listener of KMYC, AM 1410, The Patriot. I blame it on us because so many of us don't bother to vote in the midterm elections or in the primaries. And with our jungle primary, which means the top 2 vote getters go to the final big election, we're going to have 2 Democrats running for governor if we don't show up for the primary election. And it's in the teens. It's dismal how the right shows up for primaries and midterms. We suck at it. And that is what I blame my own party, my own fellow conservatives, for the position that we're in right now in California. And if that hurts your feelings, deal with it and start doing a little reflecting. Are you even registered to vote? Are you even registered to vote? Registertovote.ca.gov. It's real easy. Registertovote.ca.gov. A third of the population of California claim to be Christian. Only 40% of them are even registered to vote. And gun owners, what the hell is wrong with you? They're one of the worst. Gun owners, NRA, all the NorCal Gun Owners Association, all these people don't register to vote because, well, we don't want the government involved in our lives. Listen, your weapons are registered, so you're on a list. You might as well get registered to vote and do the right thing. I don't know if it's apathy. I don't know if it's because they don't want to have to do jury duty, which, by the way, is not based on whether you're registered to vote or not anymore. It's all done through the DMV now. Surprise! You're going to get called for jury duty anyway, even if you're not registered to vote. So do the right thing and get registered and show up this June for the primary election and then again for the midterms in November and elect a dad blame Republican governor and anything else with an R in front of their name. Lecture over.
You know, it's so easy to vote in California, even illegals can do it.
Yeah, and millions are. We got to counteract that.
It's a lot harder here in Missouri because when you show up, and it has been the whole time I've ever lived in Missouri, when you show up to the voting place, can I see your ID? And they give them their Missouri driver's license and they go blip and scan it with the little machine. And then they print you out a ballot and you go and fill in the little ballot things and then you slide it in the little machine. That's how you vote in Missouri.
There it is.
We don't have the magic machines where you push the buttons and stuff. It's
interesting.
And they just redistrict in California, and the courts just ruled that the redistricting can happen. The Missouri Supreme Court ruled, and then appeals court ruled that you could do it. And the 2 Democrat seats that we had in Missouri, one in Kansas City, one in St. Louis, we're only down to the one in St. Louis. The one in Kansas City no longer exists.
So Missouri took the lead from California's stupid ass Prop 50 and turned it on them the other way then.
I think they were following the lead in Texas. I think Texas did it, and before they did Prop 50, they were already doing it here. So, and you was talking about that. Do you know there's another Supreme Court ruling that's supposed to come down, and then by the end of this month, and that is the I can't remember the name. I can describe it. I can't remember the name of it. But there was a 1970-something regulation that was through the election. I don't remember which ABC did it. That basically said there was not legislation, or maybe it was. I don't remember. I'm mixing metaphors in my mind. But anyways, there's a rule that came in the 70s that said you had to use basically DEI. I didn't call it back then. When it came to proportioning your districts in the South, so in all of Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, they had to abide by this rule that said you had to have so many black minority districts, right? So that's why you got all these crazy lines in these states, and all these states are quote unquote Republican states now, and that's gone all the way to the Supreme Court. They're saying you're basing this on race, which is unconstitutional. You can't do that. The Constitution says number of people. That's it. That's how you make your little boxes.
That's what happened in Texas.
If that happens, that eliminates 19 to 30 Democrat seats, 19 to 30 Democrat seats eliminated, gone in the House. Think about how crazy that is.
This whole thing with Prop 50 and all the millions, 50 million, I heard, I'm sure it's quite more, to do that special election is it was nothing but posturing, because we're not even a swing state anyway. California for a long time hasn't really mattered. The big election,
No,
have they?
no. Well,
No.
but getting 5 or 6 more seats in the House will help the Democrats, although they're going to get slaughtered in all these other states that are changing over. I remember what I was talking about where I was going when I said the Senate. I just wanted to point out the 17th Amendment. Prior to the Senate was so basically, if you have a Republican governor or a Republican Congress, then you would appoint Republican senators, right?
Right.
And of course, the Democrats, California, you'd get Adam Schiff or whatever. But here's the thing: with the number of Republican governors and Republican Congresses in the states, we would have a super majority in the Senate. And the other thing would happen: what do senators? So I said that Congress does the people, or the House does the people, represents the people. The president represents the federal government. What do the senators represent?
Their district, their constituents, in the area they're representing.
That's not what our founding fathers envisioned.
Oh, really?
They represented the interest of the state, not their constituents. They had no constituents. They were put there by the. So you had the Congress.
Oh, that's right, because it was not originally an elected position.
Right. So the interest of each state, the state interest,
right,
is what they voted for. So you had the three, in essence, you had the three things that our country's made of: the people represented by the House, the states represented by the Senate, and the federal government represented by the president. And then they would work in the interest. Now, here's the thing. As a senator, I'm up there going, I don't want the SAVE Act. And Missouri goes, Mike, come home. We're sending somebody else. That's how it worked. We wouldn't need term limits at all for the Senate.
Right.
It was, excuse me, you're not doing what we want you to do. Come home. We're going to send somebody else. That simple.
It's quite brilliant, like the constitutional republic that was created by our founding fathers. Every bit of it brilliant, including the Electoral College. The Electoral College is one of the greatest forms of
which is why these progressive Marxist communists want to get rid of it.
Oh, of course,
it's a danger to our democracy.
Democracy, yeah.
Founding fathers hated democracy, by the way.
Of course, and of course, I don't have to tell this audience that we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic by design. But you already know that. That's why you're listening to KMYC 1410 AM, The Patriot.
They can't see it on the radio, but I got this little book. It was given to me by a patriot old man that passed away shortly after he gave it to me. It's called Documents of the Revolution. So you look that up. You can still get it on Amazon. Big, thick book. It has in it common sense, the Federalist Paper, the Anti-Federalist Papers, the Articles of Confederation, the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. If you want to know what our government was thinking when it was founded, get this book and flip to it. See, I got it earmarked and all kinds of things. So
yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. Thanks for What's it called again? So we can write it down.
It's called Documents of the Revolution.
Documents of the Revolution. Okay.
And it's a big book like this, and it's got all kinds of stuff in it. Anyways, give it to me by a friend that passed away. Great guy, great man.
And listen, this audience, I'm not talking to you when I'm talking about the laziness of Republicans. Obviously, that's not you. I am talking, though, too, about many of your family and many of your friends, and you know the ones I'm talking about. We've got to get behind them and push them towards doing the right thing. It's their civic responsibility, and spring that on them. By the way, if it's because you don't want to do jury duty, that's not determined by whether you're registered to vote or not anymore. That's all through the DMV. So go get registered to vote. registertovote.ca.gov. registertovote.ca.gov.
Is that why people wouldn't register to vote? Because they because they didn't want.
Yes, they wouldn't say
Let me
that.
tell you, your get out of. Let me tell you, your get out of jury duty free. Here you go.
Join the
You
military.
go into this. Yeah. No, this is how you get out of jury duty. Let me tell you.
Okay.
So you show up, right? And what they're looking for. So the defense is looking for pro-defense people, and the prosecution is looking for pro-prosecution people. Whatever the case is, you just tell them, "I'm a lifelong Rush Limbaugh listener."
Yes, it works.
And I'm a Christian nationalist Zionist. Just tell them that. You'll get they'll one side or the other won't pick you. I promise you.
Did I ever tell you the story, Mike? I know I haven't told it on the radio yet, and I will now if you want to hear it. But I don't think I've told you the story about how I got kicked off jury duty one time. Did I tell you?
No, I don't think so. Go ahead.
Child molestation case. And the one being accused of the crime is sitting right there when they're choosing the jury and they're deciding who stays and who goes, right? So they call up Mr. Simmons. Simons. Oh, sorry, Mr. Simons. Would you step up here and do all that?
Never get my name wrong.
And there's the dude sitting there, and he's got the whole Fu Manchu mustache going, the whole thing. And I'm like, geez, he looks like a child molester. So I've already decided in my mind he's guilty. And they started asking me questions about how I feel about an adult showing his love for someone under the age of 18 in a physical way, just showing them, a physical kind of love, but they're under 18. How do you feel about that? And I said, well, I'm a Christian, a follower of Christ Jesus. I have a problem even with the death penalty, and we can argue about all that, but I just know I'm not going to ask anyone to pull the lever or give the shot that I'm not willing to do myself. I don't know if I could. I believe in the sanctity of life. And they said, oh, okay. And I said, well, wait. When it comes to child molestation, I'm willing to make an exception.
I believe in the biblical punishment for child molestation.
And they said, thank you, Mr. Simons. The millstone around the neck, cast into the sea. Yeah, so do I. I'm talking about millstones. Forget silver and gold. I'm buying millstones.
That's right. I'm just saying, I don't know if you can envision that as you go out there on a boat and there's this big millstone with a chain around your neck, and they just kind of roll the millstone off and you go, zook.
Sayonara. All the best in the afterlife.
I mean, we can do it the New York style. That's where they put the concrete in the bucket.
Yeah, that's right.
It works the same. It's the same principle.
Mike is one of my absolute favorite people. I love getting to be on the air with him. This is not the first time we've been on the radio together. It's nice to get you back on again here at KMYC, AM 1410, The Patriot, where I'm filling in for the great Lou Benninger. My name is Charlie Simons. Before we go, though, please, I want to encourage you to do something for yourself, but you'll be helping us as well. Mike and I are involved with a company called Nueva Life. Nueva, Nueva, Spanish spelling for new life, nuevalife.com. And if you put a / after that, my name, which I'll spell it for you in just a second because it's got an unusual spelling, but you'll get 10% off the product. It's all naturally derived, American made, and almost all sourced out of the United States. Some of the stuff like there's some kind of Italian mushroom that they use in one of the concoctions. It's all
about it in a second.
It's great stuff for your mind, for your body, naturally derived, more energy, clearer thinking. I'm really impressed with the product. And it's all at nuevalife.com/Charlie Simons. Now, here's how you spell my name to get that 10% discount. Because if you put that in your URL, it'll take you right to where you'll automatically, that's your promo code. It's CHARLEE, because my name is Charles Lee. CHARLEE, no I. So CHAR, Char, Lee, LEE, Simons with one M and an S on the end. SIMONS. nuevalife.com/Charlie Simons. Get that 10%. Check it out. What do you got to lose? Mike, you've been using a new product let
me just tell you about what I've done with this, what happened to me. Let me tell you my story. Okay. So this is a product I've been taking for several months. It's called Snow Slim. It's chocolate raspberry flavored. And what he was talking about, it has Morocell blood orange extract in it. And
there it is.
That is clinically proven. That is a product. It's a name brand that's clinically proven that 90% of the people that take that product have lost weight. So let me tell you my story. I started taking this. I weighed 315 pounds. I was a big kid.
Dang.
I know, right?
Now Mike's 6'4", so he's already large to begin
So
with. But
315 pounds. I can't exercise because of ailments that I have. I used to exercise
serving
every
in the
day,
army. He's
but I
definitely
used to
an
be
injured
young.
vet.
But so I started taking this product, 315 pounds. I now weigh in at right around 280. I've cut 3 notches in my belt because this is the chocolate sauce that makes your pants fall off, literally, because you can't keep them on no more. Got to, a belly buster in a bottle. Look, what is this? This is the end of February. You guys want to lose if that few extra pounds around the midsection, getting your bikinis. I know Charlie does.
I want to get in your bikini too.
Get this product. Let me tell you, he was talking about trying to spell his name right somewhere up here. I don't know, on the screen somewhere. There's a QR code that'll take you straight to his product. And
if you're watching online at rumble.com/do-not-talk, yeah.
Oh, if you're watching on Rumble online, if you're watching, I apologize about that because we're on the radio. I don't know anything.
If you're watching the radio, you're not seeing much of anything.
That's right. But if you go to, he'll give you his website and stuff. You go to him, contact him, he'll show you how to get the stuff. But this stuff is absolutely, I feel so much better. And whenever you look in the mirror and the belly ain't as big as it used to be, you feel better. So I'm just saying.
It's a godsend. It is a godsend. And have you done anything else? You exercise anymore? Have you
no,
curbed your
no,
eating?
I can't.
Have you cut out the gas? Have you cut out the gas station sushi?
Well, I haven't ever started that. So
that's it. See, you're
I think
missing
the
out.
gas station sushi will help you lose weight too. I mean, when you get the screaming squats,
Jeez. So if you want to just purchase the product,
rough for the radio.
nuevalife.com/Charlie Simons. But if you want to join us and actually make this, you want to be part of the business, you can do that too. So get in touch with Mike. He's going to give you his email address, and please write this down.
Yeah, okay,
and
yeah.
Get in touch with him as well to find out where you can watch him, because you're going to find him on Rumble, you're going to find him on YouTube, you're going to find him all over the place. You're going to want to start watching him. He's live every day at 8:30 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday.
Yep. So you guys got to drink your coffee and get up early to watch me out on the West Coast.
Yep.
Or left coast, as we say out here. So no, seriously, PatriotMikeShow.com. Excuse me, that's my website. PatriotMikeShow@gmail.com. If you send me a message over there and say you heard this with Charlie filling in on the radio station, I will send you his link to make it easy for you. But you can find me at Patriot Mike Show on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, probably somewhere else. I don't know. And anyways, we have a good time. We talk about all the things we talked about today and many other things. Yeah. And I want to leave you before you cut this off. I want to leave you with something, okay?
Yeah.
Now you can see this if you're watching us live right now, but on the webs, but you can't see this on the radio, but you can hear it. This is AOC, and I think she sums up the Democrat Party.
Perfect.
We must remember, in a time such as this, we are not the crazy ones, New York City. We are not the outlandish ones, New York City. They want us to think we are crazy. We are sane.
Wow.
They're not the crazy ones. But here's what I said on my show today or yesterday.
New York, by the way, thank you for that gift. She's the gift that just keeps on giving.
Here's what I said. If everybody's crazy but you,
Guess what?
Everybody's wrong but you, if everybody's a narcissist nut job but you, everywhere you go, there you are.
There you are. Right on, Mike. Thank you so much. Great having you here on the radio. KMYC 1410 AM, The Patriot. We're going to be checking Fox News at the top of the hour, and I'm Charlie Simons, filling in for Lou Binninger today on this great radio station. We'll be continuing in just a bit. Okay. And that will be on the radio tomorrow, KMYC 1410 AM in the Sacramento area.
Sacramento?
10 a.m. to 1 p.m. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll be at Pacific time. But wrapping up this show here, because I want to put this on my Rumble page because this was great. I always have a good time with Mike. I'm going to tell you this, that you can find me at charliesimons.com. You can support the show. You can get involved. You can help me if you want. You can contact me. You can schedule to be on the show. Everything at charliesimons.com. CharlleSimons.com. And may God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America bless God. Salute, Sergeant.
Do I look? You're using the wrong hand.
I am not. You're looking at the screen the wrong way. Using the wrong hand. How
This
dare
is my
you?
right. This is my right.
This is my right too. All right, buddy. Thanks, man. I got to get editing on this for tomorrow, and I really appreciate you saying yes to this. I think this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to how it comes across on the radio.
You need to end the live stream. You want to end the live stream?
Yeah, I'll do that right now. All right, my man.